Hey y'all, this is Misty with Country Gal's Kitchen, and today we are going to be making a king cake croissant ring for Mardi Gras. So I've got the 8-ounce package of cream cheese in my classic batter bowl. The recipe calls for 1 1/3 cup of powdered sugar, but we're only going to use, let me get the right bowl. We're only going to use a 1/3 cup of powdered sugar in with our cream cheese. So we're going to put that in with our cream cheese and just mix it together. Make sure your cream cheese is softened. That way it's easier to mix. Okay, we're going to blend this well. Okay, there we go. And then we are going to take 1 egg, farm fresh egg, and add it to our cream cheese mixture. Okay, and then we are going to mix this together. Okay, now we're going to set that aside, and then we are going to take our sugar, which is 1 1/2 teaspoon, and our cinnamon, and we're going to mix it together. So we have 1 1/2 tablespoon of sugar, and then we have 2 tablespoons of cinnamon, and I used the crunchy cinnamon, the Pampered Chef crunchy cinnamon. Get my little whisk. Get that all stirred up. I'm going to set that aside, and then I have 2, the recipe calls for Granny Smith apples, but I'm kind of picky on my apples, so these are ambrosia apples. We are going to use our core. Lovely. And then our new one has the little tab to where we just open it up and discard. Perfect. All right. Now the recipe does not call for taking the peeling off of the apple, but I don't like apples that aren't peeled, so we are going to quickly take the peeling off the apple, and I'm just going to use one of the Pampered Chef peelers. Careful and do not get your fingers in there, because these suckers are sharp. Okay, there's one. Let me do the second one. while I'm preparing this, I've got my oven preheating to 375 degrees. And we are going to use the pizza stone to make our ring on. This is the first time I'm making this, so bear with me while I read through the steps. Okay, now all we need to do, we could take the simple slicer and slice them. I'm just gonna take a knife and dice them up. That way, I can get, the apples were kind of crooked, so the core didn't get all of the insides out. And I'm just using the coated chef knife to, and we're just gonna, probably could do smaller, but I like big chunks of apple, so we're gonna go with the big chunks. Okay. I'm just going to use this measuring cup to put my apples in. And then what we're going to do is put our cinnamon sugar mixture on there and mix those up. Let's see here. All right, now that we have those mixed up, we're going to set those off to the side and go to our next step, which is preparing our croissant rolls on our pizza stone. This is one of the newer, the Stone Fusions, and I haven't used it that often, so I am going to take a little bit of, you don't have to do this. I just like to do it the first couple times I use it because it gets it sealed in there really well. This is the part I hate, taking these things off. So what we're gonna do, we have 2 cans of croissant rolls. We're gonna take them out and separate them by triangle. Maybe. This one kind of came out wonky. Okay, so we're just gonna lay them around the edge of the with the corners touching. I'm telling y'all, mine is not gonna look like a professional did this. Not at all. Those of you who know me know that I am very messy in the kitchen. So we're just gonna have the sides touching. And I prefer the name brand. This is the off brand, and I think the name brand looks a little bit better. This calls for the large pizza stone, but the one I'm using is the newer one, so it's a tiny bit smaller. So we may not be able to use all of the, we'll see here. These can be moved together a little, because then after we get these all set on there, we are gonna take our baker's roller, and we're just gonna roll out kind of like a shelf so that we can put our mixture on. And I didn't use all of the croissants. I should have put these a little bit closer together, like I did these over here. Next time. So basically we're just rolling this out to make a little shelf so that we can put our mixture on. Okay, now that we've got that done, we can, we're gonna take our cream cheese, and we're gonna spread half of it over, just gonna spread half of it around. If I would have used a whisk to mix this with, whip it up, it probably wouldn't have been so, I don't know if you guys can see this, it probably wouldn't have been so lumpy, but I did not use a whisk. Okay, so we got about half of that. Now we're gonna take our apples and spread those around. Like I said, these are pretty thick apples, so they may not get done, but that's okay because I like my apples kind of crispy, crunchy when I am making apple pie. I don't like them mushy. There we go. Let me wash my hands real fast. Okay, and then now we are going to take the rest of our cream cheese mixture and put it around on top of our apples. Just kind of spread that around. Okay, yep, I'm using my fingers. Okay. All right, so now we are ready to bring our triangle points over and kind of tuck them under. So we're just gonna one thing I can see that I need to do different next time is not leave so much of the points out, because we have way too much around there. So I'm just kind of tucking that under. There we go. All right, so now we are done with that for now. Now we need to make our topping. So I'm gonna set this over here, and we are going to, let's see, we are going to go ahead and put this in our preheated oven, which it is preheated, and it's gonna cook for 25 to 30 minutes. So let's go ahead and do that. Meanwhile, we are going to take our 1/4 cup of pecans and we're gonna mix those up. Actually, I was supposed to put the pecans in with the apple mixture, but we're gonna spread them on top. Okay, so for our glaze, we're gonna use 1 cup of powdered sugar and 4 to 5 tablespoons of milk. So I'm just gonna start with that and mix it up. Get that mixed up, and then we're going to chop the pecans. This is the 3-cup prep bowl, the glass one. We have silicone ones that are that work really well as too. Okay, I don't think we need any more milk, so I'm not gonna put any more. I don't want it too thin. Okay. So now I've got my 1/4 cup of pecans in here, and I'm just going to chop them up. This is a great way to take out aggression if you have some. The recipe calls for pecan halves, but I only have pecan whole. So I still see a whole one in there. Every time you plunge this down, the cutter's in there twist, so it's not cutting in the same exact spot. And the most amazing thing about this is it opens up for you to clean it, and the whole entire thing is dishwasher safe. And then here we have our chopped pecans. So now all we have to do is wait for it to get out of the oven. We're gonna let it cool down just a little bit, and then we'll drizzle it with the powdered sugar glaze and top with our pecans. And then I also have some colored sugar that we're gonna pour on the top. So I'm gonna let you go, subscribe to my channel, and then I will post my VIP group in the links below, or in the comments below. Go there to see the finished product. All right? You guys have a blessed